Welcome to Social Town. Do you have self-confidence? In this video, we have 10 questions to help you figure out if you're self-confident or not. Being self-confident is what everyone wants. Being self-confident in public helps get you ahead of other people in many things. All research shows that people with high self-confidence achieve success more easily and quickly. Sometimes the people who come into your life, sometimes the events you experience, can prevent you from gaining self-confidence. In our previous videos, we've studied the characteristics of confident people. In this video, we will examine 10 questions that will help you find out if you're a self-confident individual with those characteristics. Ask yourself these questions and test the extent of your self-confidence based on your answers. Please subscribe to our channel for more inspirational videos. Question 1. How are your behaviors in society? Whether you have self-confidence can manifest itself in many subjects. The most obvious and important of these is about how you behave in public. When you ask yourself that question, think about it. How are your actions, your speeches, your behaviors in public? If you're being suspicious and timid, you have a serious lack of self-confidence. Some people change their tone of excitement and start not being able to express themselves, even in an ordinary conversation in public. If you think you're comfortable in public, if you have no problem socializing, that does not mean that you have a smooth self-confidence. Just as the symptoms of loss of self-confidence are different, there are different criteria for having complete self-confidence. Question 2. How much do you care what others say? A self-confident person cares about their own thoughts first. What others say is secondary. Therefore, there is a direct relationship between happiness and self-confidence. It's nice, of course, for others to praise you, but it shouldn't be your only source of happiness. When you look back at what you're doing, you have to feel happy first. After that, it'll be a lot easier. If the answer to that question is, I care a lot about what others say, we're sorry, but you have an important self-confidence problem. There can be many triggers for lack of self-confidence. The thoughts of others are also one of the most important of these triggers. Question 3. Do you judge others? People with high self-confidence don't judge others. They do nothing like humiliate other people. If you need other people to be humiliated to feel good, you can't be a confident individual. Now make another addition in parallel with this question and ask if you compare yourself to other people. If you compare yourself to others to feel happy, this is how you try to eliminate your lack of self-confidence. Competition is, of course, essential to success, but no one should use it as a self-confidence booster. Question 4. Do you say yes to everything and everyone? One of the biggest indicators of self-confidence is knowing how to say no where it is needed. If you can't say no to something you're asked to do, you're stuck in a difficult situation. Of course, don't say no to everything that's said, what's asked, but knowing how to say no when the time comes is a sign of confidence. If the answer to this question is yes, then there is a serious problem with self-confidence. You can think of it this way. Why can't we say no to someone? You'll say no means you're going to lose that person. Someone's need for you shouldn't just be about what you do. Someone needs you to your presence. And remember that without learning to say no, you can't gain self-confidence. You'll regress about a lot of things. Question 5. Are confidence and courage the same thing? Although these two concepts seem to be the same, they contain differences. While self-confidence results from developing good feelings for oneself, being satisfied with oneself, and as a result, at peace with oneself and its environment, courage is not to be afraid of anything that will happen to them. Confidence is a gain from the past, while courage is different. It's not like every brave person is going to have high self-confidence. It's wrong to say, I'm brave, that I'm confident. Courage shows up by insisting of others, while self-confidence shows up because of self-insisting. If there's one thing that's known, too much of both courage and self-confidence is quite damaging to the person. Question 6. How do you dress? Don't say, how I dress has nothing to do with self-confidence. People's clothing preferences are proportional to how they are perceived from the outside. For example, when you go to an official place, you dress appropriately so that you can move with high self-confidence. Someone who has a self-confidence problem reflects that in their clothes, in their style. And when you need some confidence, take out the suits you keep in your closet for special occasions and go to a fancy cafe and see how you're greeted. A few clothes that are of excellent quality and suitable for your body type will be enough to make you feel good. Question 7. Are you afraid of making mistakes? Does expressing your own opinion become a nightmare for you? If that's why you keep your thoughts to yourself, then lack of self-confidence is negatively affecting your life. You can see making mistakes as a lesson for the future. So find out that your mistakes are the parts that will lead you to the whole. Your mistakes will benefit you, while your truths will help other people's needs. Someone who's afraid of making mistakes cares too much about other people's opinions. When you make a mistake, instead of retreating, ask yourself, what can stop me? Question 8. How does self-confidence occur? Knowing the answer to this question will help you solve your loss of self-confidence problem. First, self-confidence interacts with many factors. Childhood periods are very important in the formation of self-confidence in the first period, when one expresses his opinions about himself. If one or both of the parents are critical and anticipated, or overprotective and obstructive of independence, that child considers himself an inadequate, low self-confidence individual. Parents support their children's initiative, and if they are there for them every mistake they make, then children can learn to accept, love, and trust themselves. Lack of self-confidence doesn't mean lack of talent. This lack results from over-focusing on the unrealistic expectations and criteria of other people, the environment, and society. It would be wrong to think that insecurity will not change. Question 9. Are you a perfectionist? If the answer is yes, it is likely that you're experiencing a loss of self-confidence. No one is perfect. No matter what job you do, there may be a lack somewhere. Sometimes, of course, you can also create flawless jobs, but it is impossible to achieve this stability in all your work. Sometimes something that looks perfect for you may miss for someone else. As a result, when you get some negative feedback from what you do, you may get upset over time and lose confidence in your subsequent work. The thought of, did I make a mistake somewhere, gnaws at your brain. This leads to a significant loss of self-confidence. So try to do the best you can, not perfect. Trying to make everything perfect either makes you give up on it completely or makes you feel bad all the time. Question 10. Are you a doom monger? This doom mongering is about you. It's wrong to approach everything from a pessimistic point of view and make a scene in every disaster. And how does that affect self-confidence? Of course, it's pretty negative. For example, just because you get a poor grade on a biology test doesn't mean you'll never get into medicine. It is wrong to attribute the result and value of something to a single behavior or indicator. Approaching things from negative aspects is also a sign of lack of self-confidence. Of course, you don't have to be Pollyannish in every event, but seeing the glass as half full always wins. Once you have the answers to these questions, you will know both the extent of your lack of self-confidence and what is best for it. So what should you do after the lack of self-confidence is manifested? First, think about what this trouble has caused you. Where does the lack of self-confidence take you in public? If you want to get rid of this, you can go to methods to get rid of the lack of self-confidence. Since this will be long enough to fit into a separate video, we can't give it a detailed place, but there are still some points that you need to know. For example, if you want to use getting to know yourself, knowing what you want and how you behave, how you make experiences out of your mistakes are points that will help you overcome this problem. You also need to know that self-confidence will be hard to gain, but it will be lost. So when you regain your self-confidence, you need to make sure that there is nothing missing from yourself and personality. Waiting for your comments. Thanks for watching Social Town. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and share it with your friends. This will encourage us to create new videos for you.